boys and girls, students of Buddhist Sunday school and Dhamma classes, parents, grandparents, teachers of Dhamma classes and Sunday school, may you all be well and peaceful. Today we are going to do this lesson titled Little Bits of Wisdom. Now, this presentation will show you many sayings or quotations or bits of advice that will help you to live more happily, more peacefully, and to be able to solve more problems as they come along in your life. So we will watch this PowerPoint, and the bits of wisdom are very short, brief, but they can be very helpful if you follow them. So let us look at the various slides of little bits of wisdom. Now we will launch the PowerPoint. Right? Now, this is the first slide. Cover slide. Now you can see, some butterflies. There is this beautiful bird and a very beautiful scenery, isn't it? Right. Now let us stop my personal video. Okay. Now let's go on to the next one. Now this is another of the cover slide. And you see this cute little boy, maybe he's just a temporary monk, and he's giving you lots of metta, lots of love, you see. And we are going to show many pictures, right, or cartoon strips involving a little monk, and then some words of wisdom, which can be very useful to you now and in the future. Right? Now, example. Now you have some very interesting words of wisdom, like for example, this one, you see, it says, set positive intentions for the day. Now, each day, if in your mind, you have positive thoughts of intention. You say, oh, today I intend to help some of the little animals, maybe the cat or the dog. Or today, I have this intention to do dana or to help my parents in the housework. So this will be a very good sort of intention, right? To develop the strength of your mind. You take another example. It says, commit your heart to your truth. Now, you see, of course, if we always, have this thing in our heart that we must always follow the truth, right? Tell the true path. That is a very good thing, isn't it? Then let's look at one more only. You're going to have many as the slides go along. It says here, respond to every call that excites your spirit. Now, for example, you have something that interests you very much. Every time you think about you feel very excited. It excites you. Like, for example, like you are very interested in being a famous artist, right? So, of course, you cannot just dream and do nothing. Maybe you practice the drawing or even take art lessons and so on to realize your dream, isn't it? Something that makes you interested. So you're going to see many of such things. Now let us look at this one. I don't know why this frame is appearing, right? Now, this is, please move this window away from this. How is going to move this one? You can't move this, so it doesn't matter, it doesn't block the picture. Now, onward with bravery. Now, what does it mean? Onward with bravery, which means that we must be courageous, right? In facing difficulties, problems, and so on. Now, some people are very, very scared to take up challenges or to do, tasks which they have not done before. You must have the courage, right? Courage would be a better word, you see, but must not be having foolish bravery lah. We call it foolhardiness lah. You say, oh, I'm very brave. I dare to ride my motorbike at a very high speed, be a run pig. I'm very brave. That is not being brave. That is foolishness, right? Whereas you say, I will have the courage, right, to solve the problems in my studies. That is good, right? You say, I will be brave, right, to take on the project. Be courageous. That is good. So you can see, it must be positive things that will benefit you and also can benefit others if possible, will not harm you, right, and will not harm others. So that is this important message you have to note. Now, let's look at the other one. Now, there are three things here, and you can see: one, kind thoughts; two, kind speech; and three, kind intentions again. Kind thoughts. You must have good thoughts. Don't think of the evil thoughts. Right? You must not have greedy thoughts, have cruel thoughts, thoughts of wanting to take revenge or harm people. Those are not good thoughts. You must have thoughts of metta, right? Of doing donations, of helping people, right? Of trying to do some meditation. You have these good thoughts. Kind speech. Of course, you speak gentle words, right? Speak words that can make people happy or help people to solve problems. That will be good speech. Not using harsh speech, right? Words which can cause people's heart to be hurt. That is not kind speech, isn't it? Or using rough speech, or even worse, using very, very bad words. That is not good, isn't it? And then kind intentions. You always have in your mind good intentions. I intend to study hard. I intend to help my parents. I intend to do Dhamma. I intend to try to learn more Dhamma. All these good intentions will help you not only when you are young, but also when you grow older, all throughout your life. So this is a very, very good slide with good bits of wisdom. Give thanks. This is a thing that many people seem to forget. They are not grateful. They don't thank people or don't thank maybe your parents, right? For the things that you have received, for the blessings that you get. You see? Now, I find that many forget that when we, for example, present you with a present or send you a very, very good greeting message, right? Wishing you good birthday, happy birthday, and so on, you must say thank you, isn't it? Right? Many people forget that. I've encountered students, right? Say, teacher, do this for me. Then after the thing is done for him, he doesn't even say thank you. Firstly, he must say, please, sir, can you please do this for me? Very polite, isn't it? And then say, thank you so much for helping me, teacher. So all these words you must use, and people will think well of you. So that is this important thing. Be light. Now, what is the meaning of this? Be light doesn't mean you don't eat food, right? And then starve yourself until you weigh maybe just 40 pounds. I don't know how many kilos. It's not that. Be light, it means your heart is light. That you don't have burdens or worry or trouble. Your heart is so heavy. You have heard of people saying, my heart is so heavy. I cannot sleep. I'm so troubled. I have problems. That is not being light-hearted. You have burdens in the heart and mind. So you see, just like a fairy, right? Floating in the sky, an angel, a deva, so light-hearted. When you are light-hearted, you are joyful, right? You are happy, peaceful. Where you are heavy-hearted, wow, you feel sad, or right? You are having problems. Or so, of course, how to be light-hearted? You actually have to learn the Dhamma and practice it. That's the best method, right? To learn the Dhamma, practice it well, then your heart will be light, your mind will be free from most of the problems and the burdens, right? You can sleep well and so on. So that is the meaning of light-hearted. Beware you are. Beware you are suggests being mindful of the present wherever you are, right? So you are in this place, you know you are in this place, and you are at the present. So you won't have things going wrong like, accidents and so on, because you are thinking of something else. There's one way of looking at it. Beware you are also can imply this. You see, if you can be where you are, everywhere you go, you are quite peaceful, right? Because I am here, I am quite contented. I will enjoy the place at the moment. Whereas people are frustrated because they are not happy being at the place that they are in. I don't want to be in this place. He's thinking of something else, somewhere else. He's not being where you are, isn't it? Right? Because sometimes circumstances are such that you have to be in a particular place. Your parents bring you to a place. You cannot say, I don't want. I want to be in Paris. That's terrible, isn't it? Right? So be contented, be grateful, right? Being where you are happily with contentment, puas hati, then you'll be peaceful, isn't it? So that is this, right? Simple pleasures. Some young ones think that in order to be happy, you must have all those sophisticated toys. Wow, Sony PlayStation 4 or 5 are playing all those violent games. Then after some time, you get bored, right? Frustrated. Ask mommy, daddy to buy new games, right? Never ends. So if you're excited for a while, they are not really having peaceful pleasures, right? You find that those days when we were young, we were very, very happy with simple pleasures. We would play marbles or, hopscotch, or even play the skipping rope, right? And many other very simple games that are not at all expensive. They are virtually free. And they are very, very happy. We laugh. And then we feel healthy. Now, many want very expensive and sophisticated things. And they think they can be happy forever and ever. No, right? So it is straining to the mind. Even simple food can make you very, very happy, isn't it? Where some, wow, always complain, I must have this Baskin Robbins ice cream, or maybe, McDonald's, the most expensive dish on the menu. All sorts of things, spending a lot of money, then after that, they also don't feel really that happy. Simple pleasures, right? Be with the moment. So you see that this little girl, just maybe she had just a simple cake, or maybe just a simple donut somebody gives her, and she eats peacefully, right? Not complaining and wanting this, wanting that, and more. Now, I let go. Now what? This person was advised by his friend, who is a very wise boy, right? Say, don't attach to this. Always, you can't let go. You complain and you are, having the type of negative thought, right? You want this, you want that, you worry about this, you worry about that. Let go of all this. So he tries to follow the advice of the friend. So he lets go of this burden or this trouble. Then after that, you see, then what? Actually, throughout your life, when you encounter negative things, of course, you try to solve them. If you cannot, then you just let go. Don't let those things disturb you. So letting go of your, for example, your temper, your pride, your greed, letting go of the worry, of your, fear, anxiety, then your mind is being developed. You are improving. So you keep doing this to let go of all the negative things in your mind. Then you'll be more peaceful and happy, isn't it? Just like this cartoon, animated. It's so happy. He let go of the worry or the trouble, the burden, right? He has tried to solve already. Some solve, some cannot. He's not worried. Now, then we have this thing, follow the sensation and rhythm of each step. Now, this is about mindfulness actually, right? Many people, young and old, are not aware of what they are doing, not aware of what they are thinking, not aware of what they are speaking, and not aware of what they are doing with their bodies, right? So, of course, some people, I've seen young people also taking up this mindfulness practice, right? Like, for example, walking meditation, right? So when they do certain things, they are very mindful. Like this person is walking to a place, he's aware, he knows, right? That his legs are moving, right? All the sensations. He's also aware of the environment, right? What is happening. So he will not like get into an accident. Some people are not following the steps, or some people are not mindful of the environment. They kick the stone, they fall into the longkang and things like that. So it's very important to be able to follow the sensations and follow, just not, this is just of course one aspect, the step when you're walking, but this applies to your everyday life also, right? So very important that you need to be concerned about. So follow the sensation and rhythm of each step. So that is this one. From stillness, life rises. Now, I find nowadays, many young people cannot sit still, right? That we have in our Sunday school, maybe just 5 minutes of metta bhavana meditation on loving kindness, but even just following an audio recording of the chant of metta, that also they cannot sit still. They will, move around, fidgeting their fingers or feet and moving this restless. So how can the mind be strong? When you want the body to be strong, the muscles to be strong, then of course you have to move in exercises. That's why you need to exercise your body parts, isn't it? Like maybe walking, running, playing games, sports, and so on. This is for the physical body. But for the mind to be strong, you need to try to make the mind still, concentrated, focused, like in a meditation or sitting still, listening to a useful talk, or when the teacher is teaching, you learn to sit still and follow. Then your mind becomes very strong. Now you see, so many years, I think more than 40 years of teaching all sorts of students, young, not so young teenagers, and even adults. I find the best ones are the ones who can focus and concentrate well. They can be still when it's time to be still. Of course, there are times you have to ask questions, okay. But today, high degree of restlessness, right? I think it's too much of playing all those very fast moving games of the gadgets, right? The smartphone or iPad. So they cannot sit still, right? Restless, want to run around, like monkeys. So if you want your mind to be good, to be strong, to be able to concentrate and be efficient in whatever you do, you must train the mind to be still. There are times when you need to just sit still, be quiet, and maybe you can watch your breath, right? Either at the nose or maybe your stomach rising and falling. Just be still, right? And not just moving your legs and then we're still. I've seen in the Sunday school they hit their friends who are sitting at the side who are trying to be still. That is terrible, isn't it? So this is a very important important point, to be still. Now, it says here, this is a quotation from a very famous author, Han Sui, right? There is nothing stronger in the world than gentleness. To be gentle, right? Opposite will be aggressiveness. Opposite of gentle will be violent, aggressive, very restless, very hot-tempered, all the negative things. But if a person is very gentle, right? He is very calm and he is kind. He uses kind, gentle words, and his actions also are gentle, not the rough type like a gangster or something. Right? I've seen some students in one of the schools I taught early morning. These students will behave in a very violent manner. They will do their I don't know what type of martial art kicks taekwondo, or I don't know, or you kick here, and you kick this thing, kick that thing, and I've seen them kicking the glass notice boards on the walls in the school, right? So that is not being gentle. It doesn't give you a good image. People will say, this fella, ayo, like something, this fella, like maybe a terrorist, right? He is not gentle. So being gentle is very important. So you can understand it by saying, I must not be aggressive, right? I must not be a bully, right? I must be kind in my speech, in my body. And of course, it starts also with the mind. In my mind, I must have kind thoughts. You see, like this boy, he's stroking the pet. Probably is a cat. Stroking gently, right, with kindness. So, of course, the animal is very pleased, right? So, be gentle. Even if you don't agree with people, you can in a gentle way speak kindly and very calmly and in a gentle manner why you don't agree with that, rather than shouting or blasting away or scolding the person. That is being aggressive. Cultivate goodness. Of course, this you have studied in Sunday school. It's a very important thing. Morality, right? To do good actions. There's so many good things you can do. I've seen some even Sunday school children, year 1, year 2, year 3, they come early. They help, right? The Sunday school teachers to sweep the floor, to water the plants, to arrange the desk. All these are very, very good things, good actions. And people praise them. At the end of the year, in fact, they usually will be given prizes for being helpful and so on. So you must cultivate good things like dana, service, helping. Nowadays, I find that fewer and fewer people they volunteer for good actions like helping in the library or gotong royong. They are more busy with their smartphone games chit-chatting WhatsApp messages to people watching this entertainment, that entertainment. Not to say you can't do those things, but overdoing it to the extent that they don't cultivate good actions. So remember this very important point. So see, we have the next one. There's big magic in simple things. Don't think that you must have very, very sophisticated things. Wow, very, very expensive gadget costing hundreds of dollars, right? Then only you find it's wonderful to you. After some time you get bored. Very simple things only. Even like simple gardening or playing, traditional games like, skipping, right? Or congkat, right? Or marbles, or making a kite and flying, or making lantern. Association, we have some of those activities. And they get so engrossed, so happy doing the simple things. Not necessary must have expensive iPhone with all the sophisticated games. Right? And you find that these things don't help you to develop your good character, cooperation, patience, All these things can be cultivated through very, very simple things. Like, for example, I told you just now, very simple childhood games, traditional games. There's one aspect. Or even a simple thing like just reading a simple storybook. And there's magic because you enjoy it and you find it. Opens up your mind, expands your mind. And that is something wonderful, right? It's okay to rest. Of course, I've seen most secondary students, they work and work and work, especially when the exams are near, right? They drink black coffee to stay awake, and then, they would just maybe have 1 or 2 hours. And next day during the exams, they cannot think already because not enough rest and sleep. They're being stupid, right? Of course, you have time to work, time to rest, time to sleep. So a wise person balances all these things, time to work, of course must work hard also, but also they find time to rest. And then also enough sleep, maybe 7 to 8 hours. But nowadays, some have the wrong ideas. Young ones, they think resting means playing the terrible violent games on their handphones or the iPad, or even on the notebook, the laptop, and they play, wow, very, very exciting, everything. That is not resting. That is actually stimulating your senses. And it is not really healthy if you are doing it so often, you get addicted. That is terrible, isn't it? So remember this, that we must have time to rest. Now, we have this. It's okay to slow down, right? Now, you find that working hard is one thing, it's important. But sometimes we need to slow down. Some people they do things in a rush, right? They say you cannot finish already, the more they hurry, the more mistakes they make. You have to plan out the schedule well so that you can keep at the right pace. And sometimes you, as I said just now, you need the rest, so you need to slow down. You need to recharge, something like recharge your battery. In this case, you recharge your mind and body, right? Through some maybe exercise games, and then through a hobby, recreational hobby, and then through maybe taking a short nap, right? So this way you allow your mind and body to rest with slowing down when it's time to slow down. But sometimes you have to work harder. So this one needs wisdom, right? To know what to do. So remember this point also. Moment to moment. This one is what we call present moment mindfulness. Many people, they cannot keep their minds at the present moment. They worry about the past. They think so much about the future. Or next week our test, I don't know, this one topic will come out or not. What happens if what I study doesn't come out, and what I don't study comes out? All this thinking about the future is quite futile, quite useless. Be with the moment. You want the future to be good, you do your best now, present moment. And then what is past already, let's say you have made some mistakes in the past, and then you try to think, I did this wrong already lah. So you spend so much time feeling guilty, feeling remorse. That is also not good for the mind, right? Of course, you know that you have made some mistakes already, but then you resolve not to repeat the mistakes and then be with the moment at present, right? There's a beautiful saying that says that goes something like this, right? The past is dead and gone, right? The future is yet to come. What matters is the present. Or another very beautiful quotation that goes like this: yesterday is history, just a memory, right? It's past already. Tomorrow is uncertainty, a mystery. What matters is today. That's why the present is called a gift. That's why the present is a gift. The present moment is a gift. The past is history, memory. The future is uncertainty, right? And a mystery. You don't know what is to come, right? So most important is now, present moment, today. So if you live this way, you'll be more peaceful and you'll be more happy and you can get things done better and more positively, right? So this is a very good thing to practice for all ages, right? Young and old, you can practice this. Incline your mind towards kindness. And one good way is actually to practice the metta bhavana or the meditation on loving kindness. Because if you train the mind always towards metta, then you find you get many benefits, 11 benefits according to what the Buddha taught. Like for example, people will like you, all animal spirits and so on also will like you. You can sleep well, you get up well, and then you don't have nightmares or bad dreams. You can concentrate very well. Many, many benefits. So you must train the mind, right, to think of good things, kind thoughts, and then also, of course, to do it, right, to do the things, the kind actions. Once the mind goes into that mode of used to already, always like that. So you find some people, they are by, I say by nature. Of course, they come into the world with that good thing and then they develop it. So they are always very spontaneous to help. Gotong royong, they will come already, right? And very, very spontaneous in offering their help to the teachers, to adults, and so on. Whereas others, they don't incline their mind towards kindness. More selfish. Kaki ko kaki they say 自己顾自己mementingkan diri sendiri. In time to come, you find you face with a lot of problems because of this attitude. So if you are able to train the mind to be more kind, to be more loving, to be more compassionate, then of course you are going to build a very, very good mind and heart. And you'll be one wonderful person, well liked, and you'll be very successful in whatever you do. So this is a very good bit of wisdom. Go with the flow. Now, interestingly, there is a proverb that says, when in Rome, do what the Romans do. You see? So it's very important. Of course, one way of looking at it is, go with the flow. Here you have a picture of queuing up, right? There's a flow of things. Don't rush and then go into a stampede, but very smooth flow. But another very important meaning is go with the flow, which means that the wisdom will tell you, right? Oh, now I have to do this. Like for example, when we go to a temple or a church or a mosque, then the natural flow is that people are praying, right? Then we have to show respect, be quiet, and then when we visit these places, we must dress well. Not to say must be very sophisticated lah. I mean, don't put on horrible dresses lah, right? Like tight jeans lah, mini skirts lah, right? And then some half naked also. Terrible. So you don't go with the flow of things, and then people will not like you. You get in trouble actually. So wise people would know what to do. They adjust according to the situation and circumstances that's going with the flow. When the circumstances tell you, oh, you have to do this, there's a shortage of water, so we have to be patient. That is the flow of things now, right? So, when you are in a place, you have limited food, so we must not rush. We just take a small portion and then we queue up. So this is the flow of things for the benefit of people, right? Or for yourself also. So many people not aware of it. They just want to do the things they want. Right? They say, I want to do what I want. Sometimes they get into trouble. No wonder there is this proverb when in Rome, do what the Romans do. So This is a good bit of advice. Then the next thing, practice simple acts of goodness. This one you emphasize so many times in this presentation. Acts of kindness, act of goodness, right? Greeting people, being very polite, using kind words like please, thank you, good morning, how are you? Right? When people thank you, you say, oh, you're welcome. You know, all this good speech. And then also good action. I think you know good actions. Charitable actions, dana, service, right? It starts at home. Charity begins at home. Helping your parents. Simple acts only, like washing dishes, sweeping the floor, helping to look after your maybe younger sisters or brothers, you see, right? So many ways, simple acts of goodness. But so many, I would say, many young ones are in the way spoiled. They have the Indonesian maid, they have the servant, all to do. Even the shoes also must be taken for them when they go to school. The bag, school bag also must be brought by the Indonesian maid. Ayo. So in time to come, they become spoiled kids, pampered already. Never being able to do simple acts of goodness for other people, to make other people happy. Oh, so later on in life, when we face with problems, the mind can't take it, right? So, or even volunteer in the Sunday school, right? To help to teach, or even serve drinks. I see some 76 or 75, right? Helping to serve the drinks, wash the cups and the plates. All these are very simple acts of goodness, but they go a long way to build up your character. And that is very lacking in our educational system. Right? No wonder you have so many problems in society. Right? People lack kindness. Right? People are more concerned with themselves, self-gratification, more selfish. Right? The heart is not open to other people. So this is also very important. Now, here, in this moment, I've arrived, I am at home. I'm home. And this is quite similar to the other one. That wherever you are, be with the moment, be there, right? Be there, accepting what you have, accepting where you are, right? Very contented. In this moment, I've arrived, I'm home. So if a person is flexible, adaptable, right? When he goes to any place, right? Sometimes circumstances have no choice to be at a particular place, right? I remember one occasion we brought some students to Penang, right? I think the Saturday Dhamma class, from 1, from 2 upwards. And then they had to sleep in the, temple accommodation. The nuns were so very kind to provide this accommodation. So, of course, there was this hall and you sleep in the hall, right? I mean, virtually free, so it should become a blessing. But these people, they are not adaptable. They think that they, want the things like what they have at home. So at night, what they did? It was maybe a bit warm. So they took off their clothes, these boys, they took off their shirts, with just their pants, and they went outside the temple to sleep on the outside ground. It was quite a moonlit night, right? There was the moon and the stars. So, whereas all of us, most of them, there was a group of maybe 7 or 8 boys, right? Then, without the shirts on, they just slept outside the temple ground. They went out of their accommodation hall. That means without permission. Then what happened was that night, right? Some nuns had to go out to do chanting. So they returned maybe about 11 class or something. They had to come back again. Wow, they were so scared. They saw a group of half-naked boys sleeping on the temple ground. So terrible, our boys, some of them. So they have to apologize and they go on and give them a talk saying, you must be adaptable and flexible. Wherever you are, that is the home. Be flexible and adaptable. So there was, I recall this incident. May I allow myself to be imperfect? Some people get very stressed up. They get Aiyo, really 压力 how can I feel up so stress until sometimes they can become depressed, depression. You must bear in mind, no one is perfect. Maybe it's a Buddha that is perfect or an Arahant. So if you are not perfect, sometimes you make mistakes, it's okay, right? So if you always want to be perfect in everything you do, then you'll be stressed out. So tell your mind, say, I will do my best, right? I will try my best. But if I make a mistake, then I note it, I acknowledge it, I say, that's a mistake. I will not repeat it, I will improve. So that is a wise way. Whereas a person who cannot accept a small mistake or things like that, then he's going to be sad, he's going to be stressed out, he's going to be worried. It affects his health, it affects his sleep, his eating, and all this. So tell the mind that it's okay. If sometimes I make mistakes, I all do, but I learn from the mistakes and then move on. I don't dwell with guilt on the past or have remorse, isn't it? So that is also a very important thing. Oh, this one is higher level. Every moment is an opportunity for meditation. Now here he is taking the word meditation, not like what you think, sitting on the cushion suddenly. It means the whole process of being alive. You must practice meditation. And in this case, he is trying to tell you that when you meditate, it means that your mind must be directed, must be present at whatever you are doing. That when you are brushing your teeth, you are meditating in the sense that you know you are meditating. You are holding the toothbrush, having the toothpaste, you're brushing your teeth. Every moment to moment you know. And that is one way of looking at meditation, right? When you are walking, then you know you are walking left foot, right foot, left foot, right foot. You know everything. Whatever happens, that is meditation. You see, sitting meditation like what you see when people is just training, a formal training. You sit still for 1 hour or maybe half an hour or 2 hours, so that then later on in everyday life you can be like meditating, that your mind always at the moment, concentrating, being able to focus on whatever you are doing. So take this as every moment being an opportunity for meditation, right? That means to be aware, to be at the moment, to know what is happening in your mind, to know what is happening in your body, and to be with it. Walking, sitting, standing up, right? Going to the toilet, opening the tap, washing your hand, everything you are so clear, the mind going from one moment to another, then your mental strength builds up, become stronger and stronger in your mind. Your mind can focus and concentrate. Whereas other people cannot, they're doing one thing and the mind is thinking of something else. Cutting vegetable, you should be being mindful, cut the knife, the vegetable, watching everything, the mind on it. Some people doing that, but the mind is wandering. Instead of cutting the vegetable, they cut the fingers. They cut the fingers. Accidents happen. So that's why I say every moment is a training for your meditation. Absolute attention is prayer. This is quite similar to what I just now said, right? That means this point of attention. Whatever you do, if you give your whole attention to it, your focus, your concentration, that is better than praying to this God, that God, this spirit, that spirit. It is this training of the mind to direct the mind to whatever you are doing and give it full attention. That is the idea, right? It's a very, very important thing, to train the mind to be attentive. All the years throughout my teaching, I found, as I've said before, the best students I've taught, they have, ended up in very good universities, very successful scientists, lawyers, doctors, whatever. They have this quality, They have fantastic attention, concentration, and focus. When you teach them, they are very attentive. They focus quietly and they concentrate, right? With attention. They'll be quiet. But if they don't understand, they will put their hands up and say, Sir, Mr. O, can I ask this question? Oh, that is a very good student, excellent. Love teaching such students, you know. So you strengthen this way. You have not been on yet. It's time to train. Then you be successful. So now we have come to the end of the presentation of 25 slides. So we will now make some very useful exploration before we conclude. Now, this particular lesson is important. It gives you many small bits of wise words. Wise words to follow, to heed. Wise words where you can follow, and then things which are positive will happen in your life. And you'll be more happy, you'll be more peaceful, you'll be more successful. Not only now, as you grow up and later on in life, you might have forgotten all your lessons, but you remember this Dhamma. You remember the life lessons, right, of wisdom. So that's why I say it's very important, right? If you cannot remember, you want to download this PowerPoint later on, no problem. Very many ways. I know some people, they download and then they keep it in their files, refer again. Wow, very rare lah. Not many people, but these are special people. They take the trouble to go over again. So lastly, we will just make this aspiration. May our wisdom grow and grow. The truth we will soon come to know. Once your wisdom begins to grow, I've given you many bits of wisdom, right? Of course, when you study Dhamma, right, there are two things we have to cultivate: compassion and wisdom. So when your wisdom begins to grow and grow, you are arriving. You will be arriving at the ultimate truth. Ultimate truth means what you get when you become enlightened. You become a Buddha. You reach Nibbana, right? You already realize the truth. You become enlightened. And these three cartoon strips, these cartoon figures, three things very important. Be kind, be present, be patient. So emphasizing this wisdom advice, be patient. If you don't have patience, you cannot achieve anything. And then kindness, we have mentioned so many times. And be present, be mindful, present moment awareness. These three things very important. Of course, many other important things I've said. Right? So before we conclude, I would like to thank all students, mostly secondary students, this particular presentation directed at, but even primary students who are smart and interested can follow more than half of this, and also parents, grandparents, and then the teachers of Sunday school, Dhamma classes, and moral education. I would like to thank all of you for taking time to follow this presentation. I hope you have learned important Dhamma from this presentation. So to conclude, let us say sadhu 3 times. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. May all be well and peaceful.